Hello, lovelies of YouTube land, and welcome back to Raving with Rua here on my YouTube channel, Songs from the Rua Room, dedicated to singer-songwriters from Belgium and beyond. Dahi is my name. I am down in Belgium, where the base is. How are you all doing this evening? It's great that you're back here with us. If you have any comments, please drop them up there in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube and it's your first time perhaps, or if you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that subscribe button there. Helps me to get the songs out and to build the channel up. And if you'd like to give the old video a thumbs up too, that all helps. As always, my virtual tip jar is open down there as well in the link in the section down below, in the info section. It's the PayPal link there if you'd like to contribute. If you can also, of course, check out the RWR.com and go to the shop there if you'd like to support the channel in that way. Or indeed just share a video. That also helps me get the channel built. So how's everybody doing? Where are you watching from? Let us know if you're in the comment section. We have a viewer already. Nessa Brosnan is straight in there. How you doing? Nessa, also a Corkonian. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, we are going to Cork tonight. I meant to tell you as well, of course, that as always, tonight's stream brought to us courtesy of the great people of G-Sharp Guitars there, the world's finest travel electric guitars. Check them out, please, in the info section below. So we're going to the People's Republic of Cork once again. There's been a couple of great Corkonians. This is an adopted son of Cork, and really delighted to have the Mr. Hank Wedel with us. Are you there, Hank?
Hello.
Good evening to you, sir.
All right, Dahi. How's all in the Rua room?
Oh, it's sure it's only myself and herself, all quiet, calm, and myself and Ernie here as well. He's sitting over my shoulder looking at us.
All right, good. Ernie.
It's great to see you. We already have Teresa Wedel here on the. She might be a relation. I'm not sure.
That's Thank you. That's my little sister.
Hey, little sis. Thanks for tuning in. It's great to see you.
And her daughter's probably watching as well, Aisling. So hello, Aisling.
Well, hello, Aisling as well. All the Wedels and all the Brosnans are on board with this. So we'll get the bargains out of the way first. What was going on pre-corona? You lost loads of gigs and all that kind of jazz, did you?
Yeah, like everybody, I guess. Yeah. It was February. No, what was it? Was it February? No, it was March. March. Yeah, it was March.
Mid-March.
So it was Tuesday. I got a gig playing in Ballincollig. It was my very last gig. It was. It was related to Cheltenham. There was a pub that wanted music after Cheltenham.
Right.
So, yeah, and I played there. It was the last gig, and I was supposed to play the following weekend. But, no, that was the end of it. That was the end of it. I haven't played sort of like in a pub or in a venue since, except recently I've played in a couple of residential care homes.
Yeah, I saw that on your social media page. Your mum. Tell us about your mum.
Yeah, well, what happened there was if she's watching eventually, because I know this is going on YouTube, up on YouTube and all that.
Yeah, she can.
A woman in Cardiff in Wales by the name of Francesca. Francesca's a friend of mine, and she was working in Wales. And she does work in TV. She's involved with booking agencies, but she's also a very fine performer and songwriter. She writes really wild songs about weird mermaids and ukuleles with minds of their own. That's Francesca. I became friendly with her over the past few years going to Cardiff, and she's been over to Cork as well. But she got me to do something like what we're doing here in Cardiff to keep some venue alive. I've done two of those things in Cardiff. I hope to go back to Cardiff and play in both these venues when things open up again. But she lives in a place in Cardiff called Splot, and there's a venue in Splot that's ailing like so many live venues So I did a couple of songs for her, and then she wrote back to me, said, "That was great, thanks. I'm actually doing a gig tomorrow." I was like, "Where are you possibly doing a gig in this? I'm interested." She said, Last Friday week she was doing something in a residential care home in Cardiff for VE Day, which is huge in Britain, the UK, VE Day, Victory in Europe Day.
Wow.
And all the people that would be in residential care homes now, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, would be people that were young in the 50s and the late 40s, like my mother, right? You know, but my mother's in Ireland. So when she did that, I thought I'm going to get in touch with where my mother is, and I rang up. They're called Nazareth House in Mallow, and they said we'd love for you to do that. That'd be great because there's been nothing happening here. No one's allowed to visit.
Sure.
Now I had to do it in a courtyard, a big open air courtyard.
Yeah.
And you might have seen the video. It was
Gorgeous
up on,
video.
Yeah, and then that was last Sunday week, and then last Sunday I went up to a place in Kanturk and did a similar thing in a courtyard. And after this interview's finished later on, someone's ringing me to do something else in Fermoy. So my tour of North Cork
is well
care
underway.
homes.
All the care homes. Oh, well, it's fantastic that you're doing that, Hank. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, because those people have been hit the most. You know, the people in care homes.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So, and to see your mum there singing "Help Me Make It."
Help me make it through the night. That's her favorite. Well, you know, the thing is, before any of this happened, anytime I would visit my mother in there, I would bring a guitar and we'd all gather around my mother and all the other residents, and we'd all sing songs, you know, for an hour or something like that. Anytime I went in, so you know, it was great. It was great to go in there and see that. There was a very funny thing. Let me tell you what happened. They were singing I was singing all kinds of songs, old waltzes and stuff. But I was doing you know that song, "Old Flames Can't Hold a Candle." I started that off thinking, oh, that's like everyone will know. They all know that. Everyone knows that. You know? Everybody in there knows that. And even when you play a wedding or a party, everybody does know that. And that actually is a Chris Christopherson. No, it's not.
No, Old Flames. It's not Chris Christopherson.
I know,
but
it's
probably that era.
There's a Foster and Allen had it out here.
They had it out here. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Foster and Allen had it out here, so everybody knows it from a certain period and that, you know.
Yes.
But what had happened was, I was singing all these songs, like, you know, Irene Goodnight or whatever it was, Help Me Make It Through the Night, and old ballads, the Wild Rover and stuff, and they were all singing along the choruses. But just before I started Old Flames, they came out with ice creams for the residents. So I was like singing the song. I was Old Flames. So come on, everybody, sing the chorus.
No, they're too busy eating ice cream.
Yeah, and one of the nurses came over and said, "Take a break there, Hank. They're all having the ice cream."
Fantastic, great story.
So I had an ice cream as well. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's fantastic. Listen, before we delve into the past, before we go down deep into that deep hole of the before times, there's nobody in Ireland, I suppose, who doesn't know at this stage that you're one of the lucky few musicians, songwriters that were covered by the great Christy Moore. Your song "Listen" became the title track of an album in the year. Remind me.
2009, I think. Yeah.
2009ish. I want to play a version of that, your version of that song, and it's from a session called the Cumacladen session. Is that right? Yeah. Around
yes.
2000. Yeah.
In Germany.
Was it?
In Germany, with my friend David Liu, who is a great singer-songwriter and has made inroads into Ireland as well. I hope he's watching. Eventually, he will be watching.
Eventually, he will. Yeah, well, maybe he's watching live, but if not,
he's playing banjo. He's playing banjo on this.
He's playing banjo. Oh, okay, well, it's wonderful. But I also want to, before I forget, I want to put up your Bandcamp page there, folks. If anybody wants to buy Hank Wedel, brilliant music, bandcamp.com there will see you right. But before we talk anymore, Hank, I want to play your great song. It's called "Listen." Anybody who's a Christy Moore fan will know this song well. Listen, folks.
Listen to the whisper of moonlight on the water. Close your eyes and listen. Listen to the singing of a feather on the breeze. Close your eyes and listen. Listen to the harmony of heartbeats in unison. Close your eyes and listen. Listen to the rhythm of souls dancing round the stars. Close your eyes and listen. 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 Listen to the chiming of the distant bell calling. Listen to the flutter of an angel's wings on high. Listen to the rapping and the clapping and the buzzing. Listen to the snowfall gently on the mining town. Close your eyes and listen. Close your eyes and listen. Fix 'em there. Listen to the whisper of moonlight on the water. Listen to the singing of a feather on the breeze. Listen to the prayers of children to their blessed mother. Listen to the pleading of the faithful to their father.
Mighty stuff. Brilliant song, Hank.
That's
yeah,
a really
I,
interesting.
I
That
was-
is, yeah.
Oh, you gonna say?
That's a really interesting venue. It's a comic book store, like super freaky
Yeah.
German comics, American or German versions of American comics, German comics, and it was really cold.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
In
it was
the room,
really cold. And it's like he lets 10 people in at a time, so it's a funky little gig actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a very
and,
intimate looking spot. Yeah.
It's not
Brilliant.
far from Hanover. It's probably written in the video where it is. It's near
It is,
Hanover.
I think so.
anyway.
Yeah, I think it is. But tell me briefly, kind of how that song ended up in the hands of Christy, and what was there a phone call? How did you find out that it was going to be covered?
Well, I've worked for years with Declan Sinnott, Christy's right-hand man. And he's a record producer of some note. Most people know that.
Indeed.
So Declan pretty much had known the song a while. And I was in a band with Declan for a while, in and around that time, 2008, 2009, 2010. And we were doing it, and we recorded it. And it's actually on Bandcamp. That version is on Bandcamp. It's probably the only place you can kind of get it. I had a band with Declan and Eleanor Healy and Martin Leahy called Small Town Talk.
Okay.
So pretty much Declan played that version to Christy, and I was sitting in a car park waiting for my better half, my missus, to come out of a shopping center. Yeah. And I was and next thing I had a phone call from Christy. I'd met Christy a few times, and we knew a lot of people in common through the years and all that. And anyway, he said, listen, I like your song, listen. And I'd really like to to record it if you don't mind. I thought I'd be so honored. So it was like that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Beautiful.
So
Well, it's, yeah, of course, a big thumbs up and big kudos to you for that.
Well, we should say, you said that Kevin Sullivan's up in Sweden.
Kevin Sullivan is up in Sweden. He is indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing tours up there for Blackwater.
Oh yes, Mr. Higgins. Yeah,
Mr. Higgins, another Mallow man.
Okay.
I'm from Mallow as well, if you like. I live in Cork, and I was born in America. Anyway.
Yes, that was my next question. Take us back to there now. We're going digging deep now.
Just to finish that off about listening, it was written on one of those Blackwater tours up in Yallavera. Did you ever go up to Yallavera up inside the Arctic Circle?
I was never up that far. No.
Yeah, that's where I wrote "Listen."
Listen to the snowfall gently on the mining town. Wasn't that
exactly?
You told me that in Cork one night. Yeah.
That's right, and Christy. That's the line that Christy really liked.
Beautiful. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of great lines in it.
Thank you.
Close your eyes and listen, of course, being being up there as well. But that line, beautiful imagery in that line. Yeah, listen to the snowfall gently on the mining town. It's absolutely great. I have to say hello to you there from Dav Ogrin. Dav Og, of course, the nephew of Christy and Luca Bloom. He's down in France. Dav Ogrin.
I know. I see his posts all the time.
You do.
How you doing, Dav Og?
Davok does great poetry readings and he does all kinds of live streams on his channel. Great to see you, sir. Nice for tuning in, and of course, lots of great viewers here today. My dear friend Katja is over there in Belgium, is up the road. Hi Katja, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Of course, the great Eugene Brosnan, another Corkonian who did one of these not too long ago. The great Eugene Brosnan is watching this as well, of course.
I think Eugene's work with his family lately in the videos are just astounding. These are very uncertain times. These are very troubled times, but it's producing stuff like that. So just absolutely beautiful to see that.
Absolutely right. I thought it was very beautiful, Eugene. Well done. Keep up that. That's for sure. Now we're going to go. You're not from Cork. Tell us where it all began. You're from across the pond in global America.
I was born in Dayton, Ohio, and I grew up in New York and Mallow.
Dayton, Ohio, New York, and Mallow.
And then when I was in Mallow, all I wanted to do was get a band together and play in Sir Henry's, and I did that.
Wow! So you were playing music in America? I take it before you.
No, not at all.
Were you not?
I was. I was playing guitar, but it was from the Irish background really that I got into playing guitar. Because I came to this country to live in '74, but I'd been here in '66 and '71, and in '71 particularly. It was quite a thing. I mean, it was the summer of '71, and I was here. I was 8 years old, and everyone was playing something and singing something. And I said, I'm going to learn how to play guitar. I was already a complete Beatles fan by that time, so it was, I was going that way from 1967 onwards.
Okay, so have an easy transition. I see. And tell me then about Open Kitchen. I have a video from 2011, but. What was that project about? Yeah.
Okay, well, I tell you what. Can you line up the other song called "That Was the One"? Because that would probably be a little bit more of a way of explaining everything.
Of course, that's in
a visual sense. Yeah, and then I think the best thing to do is to move on to Princess Street and then Open Kitchen. That's a chronological thing there, because in this video, That Was the One. There are all kinds of references to Princess Street, Open Kitchen, the Beatle Peyote Band, working with Eleanor Healy.
Perfect.
There you go. There we are.
That's the one. That was the one. What's Beatle Peyote?
Well, that was something that we came up with when I was recording that song and a whole bunch of other songs for an album called Living in the Land of Love. And after each take or after each listen, we'd say, that's very Beatle, or that's very peyote, because we did a song in tribute to the Grateful Dead called We're in Garcia. Maybe some of the American viewers might know what I'm talking about, and Deadheads in Europe as well will know about it. I like the Grateful Dead. I unapologetically love the Grateful Dead. So
good man.
If anyone knows anything about the Grateful Dead, peyote is a sort of a way of expanding your mind. So after each take, we'd say it's very Beatle or very peyote. So that's we said it's the Beatle Peyote Band.
The Beatle Peyote Band. That's great.
Yeah, it's kind of a pet name for the band. It was a guy by the name of Owen Regan, who's a really great guitar player who played a lot of the great guitar on the album. That was produced by Christian Best here in Cork, released in 2016. Yeah, but this song has been around a while. But if people watch it, we'll probably see all kinds of different references to different people that I played with when my hair was browner and I didn't need glasses.
Down the Cork scene. Okay,
Yes, exactly.
And a touch of the dead heads about it as well, you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well let's go straight into it. So, folks, once I find it, there we go. It's called "That Was the One." Hank Wedel with the Beatle Peyote Band. Great track.
You better watch yourself. Better keep in step. Don't hang yourself. Don't hang yourself. Listening to what the people are saying. Invest yourself. Put away hard. Put away your headset. Yeah. Do what you gonna do. Nobody do it for you. She would flatter me with flattery. Stroke my ego, swell my head. She'd tell me all about me. And she'd take me to the garden shed. So instead, you better watch yourself. You better keep in step. Don't hang yourself. Listening to what some people say. Invest yourself. Put away your heart. And your head said, yeah. Do what you gonna do. Nobody do it for you. She wants to come again. Like early morning train. Choo-choo, yeah. You better watch yourself. Better keep in step. Don't hang yourself. Listen to what the people are saying. Invest yourself. Put away your heart. Put away your heart. Say yes. Do what you gonna do. Nobody do it for you. She's gone fishing for men again. Goddess knows the moon is right, being the queen of the sea and night, passing through, passing by. You better watch yourself. You better keep in step. Don't hang yourself. You're listening to what the people are saying. Invest yourself. Put away your heart in your head. Say yes. Do what you gonna do, nobody can do it for you.
Yes, mighty stuff. Hank Wedel and Beatle Coyote Band. That's you're watching the RWR Room, folks, here on my YouTube channel, Songs from the RWR Room. And as I always do, I'd like to just ask you to hit that subscribe button there for me, please, if you could, down below. And that helps me to get the songs out there. Kitchen, but we'll go back and tell us a bit more about that last track that we played.
Okay, well, you probably saw all kinds of people in that. The fella playing percussion was in Princess Street with me many years ago. We started off busking together, Brian.
Okay.
Brian Carroll, and Brian and I wrote that song together as well. We wrote that song, That Was the One, many years ago, and it took a long time to get it recorded like that. So Eleanor's playing on it, and she's singing on it. She's playing the bass on that. Now, that's just sort of like a live gig that was in Collins when we released a single in 2016 to 14.
Was it
2014? Yeah, that's when that was released. So, and that video was done by a fella who has a thing called Local TV, and it features also Claire Sands. Have you heard of Claire?
Not, I haven't. I don't think so.
Yeah, she's a fiddle player, and she's making waves here in Ireland, or at least, while we were still able to gig and stuff like that. She's played with that. She's played with the Hot House Flowers, and she's at the Liverpool Fla and all that. Yeah, she's playing fiddle in that video. She's not playing on the song, but she was playing with us that night. So, like, you know, Eleanor's like 10 years younger than me, exactly. Claire's like 30 years younger than me and Brian. You know, so you can see pictures of us when we were younger and had more hair and all that sort of stuff in that video.
But you're like the godfather of songwriters now at this stage in Cork. You know, I mean, a household name.
I make an offer you can't refuse.
You do.
I don't think so, but I know what you mean. I've been working quite a bit. Yeah.
You've been in that scene a long, long time. But you came out of you were in University of Cork as well.
I was in UCC. Yeah.
What were you specializing in university?
Trying to keep a rock and roll band together, of course. Trying to get a gig in the college bar and playing Sir Henry's. That's what I was doing
in college. Right. Well, you introduce the song, and I'll go into it.
All right. Okay. Actually, look, folks. See, what I've been doing here during the lockdown is I've been see that there? I don't know if you can see that there. It says "Speak to Me." That's a vinyl single, kids.
That's a what? A vinyl
single. Yes, and
a physical thing.
Yes, the B-side of a song called "Song for You," which I also wrote with Brian Carroll, right? And I have found these in my house during the lockdown. Well, I've had them for a while, but they're the ones we didn't sell. We made about 1,000 of them, sold them at the Princess Street gigs years and years ago. But I found them, and look, that's the cover. There's a picture. There's a picture. Look. Of a naked kangaroo on the front of it. And there's Princess Street, Song for You. So what I've been doing, one of the things I've been doing is getting my Pritt stick and my ruler and you know, between the Pritt stick and the ruler, folding and patiently Zen-like coming up with this.
Oh my God!
With the Princess Street. So, 30 years ago, on the 25th of May, we had a big party in the Lacey House in Cork.
Said, why can't you see? With your heart, not your mind alone. There is no changing in this dream. Just a boat ride home. Speak to me. Speak to me, take my fantasy home. Speak to me, take my fantasy home. my fantasy home. Speak to me. Speak to me. Take my fantasy home.
Come on and speak to me. Oh, baby, won't you speak to me? You take my fantasy
Many words have been spoken, but the truth remains unsaid. Many hearts have been broken, yeah, 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 and my soul's just left for dead.
Oh, let us step for dead now, dead now.
Speak to me, speak to me, take my fantasy home. Speak to me, speak to me, take my fantasy home.
Right, so let's see if we can get Hank back in here. How are you, Hank? Are you all right there? Are you struggling with Wi-Fi? But that happens in these shows sometimes.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm close to the Wi-Fi. I'm
It
used to
seems
your
better.
laptop.
It seems better. It's okay. And as
Okay.
Sean D down there said, pure class. Absolutely. Thank you, Sean D.
All right, Sean.
for dropping in, wherever you're tuned in from. Lots of great comments coming in from all over the world, really.
That's
Music
good.
world
That's
for
good.
sure. Yeah, but I think your connection sounds seems a bit better now there, Hank. So let's fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's going to be fine. You know,
Okay,
it is Wi-Fi, it is live stream, so you never know what you're going to get. But these things can go well and they can break up, and it's all right. And the good thing is,
I'm enjoying the conversation. Yeah.
yeah, me too. And I can go in and edit out all that stuff later on when people are watching it back, which is nice. Thanks YouTube for that. But
Good stuff.
what is your writing process like, Hank? Is you very much a note taker and you kind of come together on your own and put it down to a guitar later, or do you like to riff on guitar and then write words? How does that go for you? Generally,
Yes to all the above.
all of the above. Bit of this
Yeah,
and
and
that.
yes to all the above. But I like writing with people like Brian. I like writing with Brian.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like writing with Mary Green too. I like their two partners.
You like the
I've written with.
co-writing scenario. You do.
Well,
a lot of people don't. Yeah.
It's just, I read something recently. I know I saw Paul Simon talk about songs recently, and I thought he said something. Songs kind of reveal themselves. You can say you write them. That's true. You have to write them down, and you have to kind of get them in such a way that they are recognizable as a song, perhaps to someone. If but they reveal themselves. It's almost like they're there in the shadows, waiting to reveal themselves. And they, in this electronic age of the past 100 years or so, songs have taken on a different meaning. But once upon a time, songs were a means of communication, a means of spreading news, a means
Absolutely.
of recounting history and all that sort of stuff. So I think the melodies in the songwriting is deep in the human experience. So
Very much so.
I think they kind of reveal themselves. But what'll happen generally, just to be more specific and less arcane about the process, is that the things that you said there, I'll riff away on a guitar and think, oh, that sounds good. Or I'll come up with a couplet or a couple of lines and I'll say, I've got this lockdown has afforded me the opportunity to gather stuff that's been sitting around in my house for years, literally years, going back 30, 40 years now. That's kind of scary to say, but I put them all. I'm in a new location now. You might tell from the light. I've got lots of stuff that I've here in my office bedroom.
Just accumulated from.
That's accumulated, but I've put it all into folders that my wife very nicely ordered online to get. So, like, here's a folder.
Wow.
And what's it say? It says.
And they're bones of songs.
Yeah, well, it's first drafts of songs that were recorded and released. So the songs like "Speak to Me" and all that sort of stuff are probably in here.
Wow.
The first drafts, and then I've got like other people's songs and songs I've written with other people. I've got all different kinds. What's this one? Completed lyrics, but barely demoed songs. Like, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I've got lots of things in the back, but I'm always
you're a real working songwriter, Hank. You know, I mean, that's a very impressive thing about you. You never stopped. You know, you've always been working. You know, whether you're gigging is one thing, but the cogs are always going in the background.
I'd like to be more able to write a story, though. You know, I know I can kind of write songs that might have a chorus and that, but I really like someone like John Spillane or Jerry Wolf. They can write stories, you know, about
songs,
people.
Yeah.
Story songs about people. I'd like to be able to do that more.
You find that the more difficult? Are you more an abstract writer? Is that what you're trying to say, or?
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's more abstract, and you see the way I feel about songs and songwriting is this: I like learning songs. You know, if I hear a song and I really like it, I'll listen to it like 10 times in a row. Yeah. You know, like I'll really, and it's funny, and it could be any song. When I arrived to Mallow, I was talking about this the other night because there was a documentary on Dana winning the Eurovision 50 years ago.
Yeah.
In Amsterdam, and the song "All Kinds of Everything," and I missed out on that in 1970. I wasn't in Ireland then, but I got to my grandparents' house and they had the record. Like maybe most Irish households in the mid 70s had that record. You know, from 1970.
Yes.
My uncles, my uncles might have had it in the house. Anyway, I played that song, that record, 10 times in a row. My grandfather was looking at me. My late grandfather was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like,
wrong with you?
Just, and all kinds of everything. And it's not even the song is great, and it really is. It's just, you know, it's got melody, it's got everything, and the production and everything about it is just amazing.
Written.
Yeah. So I like learning songs. I mean, like if I like learning, and I think learning songs and writing songs are the opposite images of each other. If you're learning a song, you have to kind of write it for yourself, and if you're writing a song, you have to kind of learn it for yourself.
Yes,
that sounds kind of weird as well. But if you're learning a song, you really have to kind of write it for yourself. I think. I mean, you know,
at least put your own twist on it.
Put your own twist on it.
Yeah, Christy does it very well. You know, interpretation is a great skill to have, of course, and songwriting is a completely other thing.
He's very special because like what he's done with songs, he's found songs from centuries ago. Yeah, and just, you know, what he's done with them is just astounding. You know, centuries. These songs are, and that's where humanity speaks through the ages.
Yeah, of course.
To each other.
Yes,
you know?
And in Ireland, of course, I mean, we all do it. I mean, if you only have to grow up in Ireland to hear the likes of, you know, Mary Blacks of the world and the Dolores Kanes, the Sean Kanes, you know, great song interpreters. Maybe Emmylou Harris from the United States. You know, for example, people who've developed that craft and a wonderful craft that is. But we were chatting before internet went down on this. We were talking about Open Kitchen.
Yes.
So let's go with that. We'll have a song here called "Sad Beauty." So first of all, tell us a little bit about what Open Kitchen was. Was it a band? Was it a project? What is it?
Open Kitchen was the name that I used for whatever band of people, great musicians that I had, that I put together from a period of about 1990 to maybe 2000, but it had its roots in a New York version of the band. You see, I was at Princess Street, busking on Princess Street first in the mid-80s, 84, 85, 86. Then I went to New York. I went to New York in 86, and in 86, 87, going into 88, I had a band called Open Kitchen in New York. And then I came back to New York for various reasons. And from 88 to 1990, I had Princess Street, which is what you just saw there with Speak to Me. We recorded an album called The Night John Lynch Lost His Glasses.
On the cassette tape. Look at that.
Right there, because I came upstairs because of the internet connection thing.
Yeah. And then
Speak to Me was on that, and John Lynch was a guy who used to sing with us. He was older than the rest of us, but he was a great soul blues singer here in Cork. And he lost his glasses one night, and we got that band together. So when that fell apart in 1990, I went back to New York, and then I came back here again. I was bouncing back and forth between. So when I got back to New York at the end of 1990, I got back to Cork at the end of 1990. I had a band, and I called it Open Kitchen. And any band I had, lots of different lineups of different people, great musicians through the years, between 1990 and 2007.
Wow.
Yeah. And actually that song earlier, the Beatle Peyote Band, they featured some of the people that were in that band along the way. But this video, which was made by a great songwriter here in Cork, Shan Brown. I don't know if Shan's watching, but she made this video, Sad Beauty. And the longest version of Open Kitchen went from about 1996 to about 2007. And that's the band in this video that you're about to see. Or that's the band that's playing in it. Yeah. But there was lots of different lineups. Yeah.
All right. So we just kind of, so your projects just kind of took on the name. And
I'll drop all their names after the video.
Absolutely, it'd be great, if you could just give them a shout out. The Beauty of Truth. Do you want to say anything about the song itself?
Yeah, The Beauty of Truth. This is funny, really, in a way. This song was produced by Lance Hogan. He was the producer and drummer and guitar player with a band called Keela. Keela, really good friends of mine.
Great band, yeah.
And they were very involved in the recording of this album with Open Kitchen, members of Keela, because there was just that interface between both bands in the 90s. They're a world music band, but their rhythm section had a rock and roll element that, we interface with pretty good. And they're pretty rock and roll in their own way anyway. But the thing about this is that I had this thing, the beauty of truth, the beauty of age, the beauty of freedom, but you're caught in that cage. The beauty of sorrow, the beauty of joy. There goes that beautiful girl. She can't find her beautiful boy. I wanted to recite that at the top of the song, but Lance said, no, there'd be no reciting now. Which is fair enough. He was the producer. So I said, okay. But then when I made the video quite a bit afterwards, I thought, well, if I'm not going to recite it, I'm going to put this at the top of the song somehow, because I always felt that belonged in the song somewhere along the way. And when I play live, sometimes I do it with that thing too. But I don't regret knocking it out, because recording and songwriting, I really like the way this song turned out. Lance did a great job in it.
Yeah.
And everybody that's playing on it, Shane O'Brien on bass, Shane Scanlon on guitar, Neil Carroll on harmonica, and Martin Leahy on drums. Eleanor, who was singing earlier and playing the double bass, she's singing on it. Mal Blackie's singing on it. All these great people that I've had the privilege and honor to play with are all doing a great job in this song.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so I hope you like this video as well.
Absolutely, we'll give it a play. It's roughly, the video is 2011, apparently.
Yeah,
around that time, was it?
That's when the video came out, but the song itself came out in 2001 on an album called Taking It In, which I recorded with that longest version of Open Kitchen that went from like 96 to 2007. Yeah.
Brilliant. All right, folks, let's give it a listen. Hank Wedel, Open Kitchen Band, Sad Beauty, great song.
main drag, tears streaming off her chin, staring at this guy. But I caught her eye. She works in a restaurant, and I see her every day, staring through the window. I'm outside, but I won't go in there, no. Such a sad beauty she is, such a silent light that burns in her eyes. Such a sad beauty she is, such a silent light that burns in her eyes, that burns in her eyes. Dust. She stays up far too late. A lousy boyfriend don't love her, no. She walks all over her, you know. She stood there on the main drag with tears streaming off her chin, screaming at this guy. But I caught her eye. Such a sad beauty she is, such a silent light that burns in her eyes. Such a sad beauty she is, such a silent light that burns in her eyes, that burns in her eyes.
Yeah, I love your big Illuminati eye at the end of that as well. That was great. Lovely touch.
What? Oh dear. Dear me.
What? That's not like you to be talking about those kind of things.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. You
why
have
would I do such a thing?
I don't know. I saw a flash that something said Global America as well on there as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that album,
tell
the
me
album
about-
that's from, yeah.
Go on.
No, the album that's Sad Beauty's from was the song Global America was on that. That was just around the time that it was recorded, started in the late 90s, and it went over into 2002 by the time we got it out there. And, things were changing in the world pretty much like,
Would you have
at that point.
you've a love-hate relationship with the home country?
No, I do.
Politically anyway, no?
No, I don't. No, I wouldn't say love hate. I love the United States. I love the people there, and I love being in New York City. I've got another song called "I'm a New Yorker," which I wrote about being from New York. It's a thing. I bounce between Cork and New York, and it's been the way of my life, so to speak. My father was a New Yorker, and I grew up in the United States. So I do love the United States. I don't have
Yeah, sure.
I guess I have a problem with imperialism, military imperialism anyway, so we'll leave it at that.
Don't be afraid to, no, elaborate a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I know, yeah.
Well,
So, where do
yeah.
we start? Okay, we'll start with the current administration.
Right. Okay. The current administration in the United States.
Give me
Well,
give me 30-second lowdown.
well, the man's a billionaire, so he's looking after the interests of billionaires,
Correct.
and I think everyone's bamboozled by the media and by the way it's presented. I mean, people love Donald J. People hate Donald J. And it's right down the middle. But that's the way it is in the United States, straight down the middle. The Civil War is still being fought in one way or the other. Liberal versus conservative, left versus right. North versus south, east versus west. It's kind of what goes on there. And when they solve those problems, it's a wonderful place to live. But when those problems arise,
Not a different story.
it is a problem. It is a different story. I mean, the thing about what's going on, the president that they have now, his father was Woody Guthrie's landlord. That says a lot. Think about that. Woody Guthrie wrote a song about it. It does, yeah,
yeah.
And I don't want to offend anybody that supports.
Of course not.
I mean, the whole thing about it's too weird. It's a strange one, and I like the thing about Trump, so to speak. There's all kinds of theories, and there's all kinds of claims, and there's all everyone's bamboozled, and it's a sad thing to see sometimes. But then again, like this morning, I saw something, like how Whoopi Goldberg would be like very anti-Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Well, she made a movie, and he's in it. He's in Home Alone 2. The man was a celebrity ever before he was president.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's the age of celebrity ruling, billionaire celebrities ruling the country. And what's going on? What's that about? Why would Whoopi Goldberg make a movie with Trump? And then what and the best thing I think is, though, the best theory I have, or the best that I've heard, is that he's a time traveler. I like that one, and it was foretold in Back to the Future that Biff was Trump. These are priceless things,
They're priceless things, yeah.
It's priceless things, apparently Trump's grandfather or his uncle had Nikola Tesla's time travel plans and all that sort of thing. I find all that,
but the Woody Guthrie story is not a.
That is amazing. People
amazing.
People say, "What would you do if you met Trump, Hank?" I'd ask him, "Did he ever meet Woody Guthrie? Did he ever go collect the rent from Woody Guthrie?"
Yeah. So would I
go over and pick up the rent from that commie songwriter,
bloody commie songwriter who owes us money, probably for a few months. Get that rent off that man. Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. It's just too weird. In 2008, they elected Obama. Bruce Springsteen's up there with Pete Seeger singing Woody Guthrie songs. And then in 2016, Woody Guthrie's, the son of Woody Guthrie's landlord, is being. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, and it's weird. I'll tell you. I'll just leave it at this now, because I don't like it. It all sounds kind of weird. But
it got you going now. Yeah.
And I do love the United States of America, and I do love being there. Right, and I love all my friends there, and I love all my family that's there.
Yeah.
But to me, the United States is not ruled by the politicians. It's ruled by people in the neighborhood. Your firemen, your policemen, your firewomen, your policewomen, your teachers, the people in the neighborhood that look after children. Those are the people that rule the United States. It's not the politicians. I mean, the politicians are there, but to me, from what I remember of it growing up, it was the people working in the churches and working in the communities that ruled the United States. And that might sound simplistic and a little bit utopian, but it's better than the dystopian thing that's happening now.
Very well
and
said.
that's how I feel when I go over there now. When I go over there now, I see people over there that it's the neighborhood. It's the people in the neighborhood. Did you watch that thing? Stranger Things. Did you watch that thing that was on there?
I started watching Stranger Things. Yeah, I didn't get through.
The first series was great because it reminded me of what it was a little bit later. I grew up in the 70s. That's the 80s, but it reminded me of the neighborhoods I grew up in. It's the local cop. The local single mother. They're the people that rule, and that's the truth anywhere, man. That's the truth anywhere.
That is the truth, indeed. And it is it's the working class, it's the ordinary American that we hope will shine through in the end, and they're the people we need to look after, same as in every country and in every town. As you
That's
said,
right.
they're the people who keep things moving, who keep economies
Yeah.
alive. Yeah,
Exactly.
and yeah, and that was well put, sir. But we want to talk about the lobby. You have
All
a lot
right,
of-
the lobby.
You have a lot of contact with lots of amazing venues in not only in Cork but all over Ireland. But you have a special
Is the
connection with the lobby.
before I get into that, is the Treff Punt, was that still happening before all this came down on us? The Treff Punt?
Treff Punt in Ghent was
Yeah.
this was still all going because you had you have a history with Treff Punt as well. Of course, you stayed in Ghent. One of the last times we met, yourself and Ray Barron were over in Ghent playing in the Treff Punt.
Staying with the great Walter de Buck.
You were when you stayed in Walter de Buck's house. You did.
That's right.
What was that like?
It was amazing.
Was there any beer?
There was beer and there was all kinds of endeavors.
Right.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. He was a beautiful man, and if Mia, his widow or his ex-partner, I don't know if she's listening, I'd like to thank her and everybody at the Treff Punt. So that's in Belgium. But you asked about the lobby.
That's in Ghent. Yes. Yeah. Well, not too dissimilar. Those two venues. Great homely atmosphere.
Yeah, when I was watching the Sad Beauty video, I saw Pat Conway, the man who opened the lobby, and that's where Princess Street started off. The rock and roll band started off when we started going in 1988, and then subsequently it became a place for all kinds of music. And I just wanted to get that in there. I really appreciate what Pat did over the years.
It has a great reputation in Cork as a venue. I haven't done it myself, but what a spot.
Well, the Union Key, it's right next door. We'll talk about Union Key in a minute when you play one of the songs.
Because I'm gonna have this great little ode to Charlie's Bar, of course. And you can't talk about Cork and Hank Wedel, without speaking about Charlie's Bar in Cork.
That's
one
right.
of the longest running sessions in the history of Ireland, is it, at this stage?
Yes, it took a global pandemic to knock it down.
Very good.
That's true. It took a global pandemic to stop us playing at Charlie's on a Monday night. Myself and Ray Barron. Ray Barron and I, yeah.
Talk a little bit about Ray Barron and what he means to you musically and as a friend.
We were in the Princess Street days. Ray had a band that were like, I don't want to say rivals, but we were on the same circuit.
Contemporaries,
Contemporaries, yeah. And like it is in a lot of scenes, there was shared musicianship and shared musicians between a lot of different bands. The drummer with Princess Street, Art Lorgan, played with Ray's bands, and he played with a lot of great bands. Actually, Artie, if he's watching, he was in Princess Street as well. So back in the day, we were all playing the same circuit, and Ray had a band called Bone Idol. Before that, he had a band called Wishbone Picker Band, and now he plays in a band called Two Time Polka. When we're allowed to play, if we're ever allowed to play again. So Ray deals in mandolin-based songs and mandolin-based instrumentals. So over the years, I've been very fortunate to learn lots of different genres of mandolin music, backing Ray up, whether it's bluegrass or whether it's old-timey or whether it's South American tunes.
Yeah.
And on Monday nights, this is the thing that we do. We do all different sort of instrumentals, and I sing my songs. And for years, we've been bringing it to Charlie's on a Monday night, yeah.
Absolutely. I've been at a few of them in my life, and a wonderful atmosphere. But is this a little kind of an ode, I suppose, that you wrote about it? I suppose it is.
Yes, it's kind of out of season, but I hope we do get to play in Charlie's this Christmas, because it's not looking too good for the pub scene,
It isn't, but I'll give it a quick spin and come back to you, and because I want to talk to you about one more song that I want to get in before we go. But let's give this great song a play. It's called
it's called Charlie's on a Cold Cork Christmas Eve.
Yes,
and I'd like to shout out to anybody in New York that's watching this, because there's a friend of mine called Tom Clark. He was very involved in this, and so was Boo Reiners and so was Craig Chesler, and it was a real international thing that went on, and this was produced by Ray's son Robbie, who did a great job in recording it as well, and we got a video of it. And you know, I would never want to play this in May, but now hopefully I hope we do get to playing Charlie's at Christmas.
Yes, let's look forward to a session, whether it be this side of Christmas or around Christmas, but soon.
Yeah.
Charlie's, the great Hank Wedel, folks, featuring Ray Barron, of course, and your typical Monday night in Charlie's Bar in Cork. Love that place, love this song.
Oh, I wish I were in Charlie's on a cold Cork Christmas Eve. Eamon, Dave, and Magella, sure I'd have no wish to leave. Good friends surround the gentle sound, sweet harmony in tune. And in my heart, the one I love still sleeps beneath the moon. Craig and Tom write postcards, ask that man called Tex, is it going to snow? Do you know what the band are playing next? I love the festive lights on Oliver Plunkett Street as I hustle my way from the chalet, my love and I to meet. Crossing Parnell Place and Bridge, from the ashes of the Phoenix rise to the warming glow in Charlie's stove, keeping me alive. Good friends surround the gentle sound, sweet harmony in tune. And in my heart, the one I love still sleeps beneath the moon. Oh, I wish I were in Charlie's on a cold Cork Christmas Eve. So remember me to Charlie's, for I'll go there nevermore. No more those carefree, crazy nights inside old Charlie's door. So raise your glass and sing your song to the heart that yearns for thee. Your charm, your grace, your warm embrace, sweet Charlie's by the lea.
Merry Christmas, Charlie's by the Lee. Ho, ho, ho. That's a beautiful song. And a wonderful tribute to a great bar. And if Ray Barron is watching, love you, man. I hope you're doing
He might
fine.
be. I don't know.
He might be. We'll probably watch the rerun.
He might. We can show this afterwards as well. Yeah.
We sure can.
I'll be able to share it. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Dav Og also wants to say greetings to Ray Barron. Great memories with him back in Everyman Theatre shows. Ah, yes.
Hopefully,
Ray.
Hopefully, Dav Og, you'll be able to come play in Charlie's if we ever get it open again. I should shout out also to someone that is involved in the writing of that song, a woman called Coral O'Sullivan. She wrote a lot of the words of that song. And Brian and I also got involved in writing the words. And like I was saying, these songs reveal themselves. I mean, I just sat down at my friend John Callahan's house one day around this table, and bang, all of a sudden, with these words, and with Brian and I just worked it out. Coral had given me some words. Brian and I wrote some more words, and within 15 minutes, it was there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. That's the way to do it.
Speaking of great songwriters, Linda Cullen is late, but it's okay. Better late than never. Linda Cullen, you're very welcome. She's over there in the black
Linda,
forest, an adopted daughter of Cork.
Yeah, she's
Never
great.
lost her accent, she said. Yeah.
Linda sent me some words there recently. I kind of have that worked out, Linda. I have something going on there with that song. Those words that I took from you.
You see, they're co-writing behind me back and everything. It's amazing. It's going on, these things. Hello, Valerie, as well. Lovely to see you from Belgium. Thank you for tuning in. You've so many great songs, Hank. Your guitar, that wonderful Takamine guitar, is an EN20 by the looks of it, or something like that. I'm not sure. It's a well played beauty. Any story? A lot of history in that guitar. Where did you buy it, and how long have you got it? I lost you there for a second, Hank, but I was asking you about your wonderful Takamine guitar. And
I bought that off of Declan sent it many years ago.
Is it a wow?
Yeah, he said, "Do you want a Takamine?" And I said, "Okay."
Okay, thank you, Declan. I hope you give me a good deal.
Yeah, I'm not like, I have friends who are really big guitar heads, like my friend Tom Clark in New York has like dozens of guitars, and I do love guitars, but I've never got around to collecting them. I have that I have that guitar. I have another acoustic guitar here, and in Brian's house there's an old Yamaha that I have.
And you have a couple of electrics, I suppose.
I have a couple of electrics as well, which I got from either Declan Sinnott or Tom Clark as well.
Okay, wow. So yeah, Declan is able to you're able to sell a few guitars. He knows where to come to first and get rid of guitars. Linda is just reminding me that she loves me too, just in case I'm feeling left out. Thank you, darling. Love you too, Linda. And Cork loves you and misses you as well.
That's true.
Yeah, appreciate that very much. You have so many great songs anyway, and I want to definitely play this song as well because it's so good. Too Gone, Too Young. Tell me a little bit about this classic.
Mary Green and I wrote this song. We were thinking about our friend Noel Brazil, how we both knew Noel separately, and Noel was a great singer, one of the greatest. And we both loved him. We both got to know him. I think Mary and Noel Shine might have lived with, that sort of hippie sort of way we all do when we're young, lived together with Noel at one point. But he was a very interesting man, and he showed up in Cork at one point. He wrote great songs. Christy Moore, Mary Black, David Crosby, all these people have covered Noel Brazil songs.
Absolutely.
So we were thinking about what kind of guy he was. I mean, he just naturally, songs revealed themselves through him. They really did. Like, he's written so many great songs. And we just decided to write a song about him because he was one of those people who's like a Roman candle, if you know what that is. Like, he's a huge sort of like firework of a guy in so many ways. A lot of fun, but also a little bit dangerous. And he was taken a little bit too early from us. So that's why we wrote the song Too Gone, Too Young. Living in the Land of Love. He wrote a song called The Land of Love. So again, it was one of those, we were trying to write a song. Mary would come to my house in the before times.
Yeah.
And she would show up maybe at around 10:30 or so, and we'd work till around 12:30, and then I would go down to where my wife works, pick her up, and we'd all have lunch together. And more than likely, we'd either have started a song or finished a song or worked on something, nice and casual, that sort of workshop sort of way. And that's one of the things we've done. Yeah.
Beautiful. I had the honor of meeting him only one time. We were doing some radio outside broadcast show, Mullingar or somewhere. I can't really remember, but to me, came across as a very kind of unassuming man, very shy, quiet, but a huge force in songwriting, of course. But very unassuming character and kind of introverted, I would suggest. But lovely man. Yeah, on that day, maybe not to those.
Well, I think he was kind of shy on stage, all right. but he had presence, like
Yeah.
he really had he's one of the he's kind of a guy that you think of every day, even though he's gone. Like, you know, there was something about him like that. If you got to know him at all in your life, he kind of stays with you. He's one of those ghosts that really stay with you. I mean, like, you know, we all have parents and we all have friends and stuff like that, but Noel was something like, you know.
Yeah, a force to be reckoned with, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a great song. And yourself and Mary Green, you said, wrote this. This is a co-write.
Mary's singing on it, and it was on that album, "Living in the Land of Love," which is a line in the song that I did with. I mentioned that earlier. The song "That Was the One" is on that album as well. The "Living in the Land of Love" album, which is produced by Christian Best here in Cork, and
people
featured
can
a
get that
whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp.
On Bandcamp. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's on
That's where you
Bandcamp,
can get these songs, folks. If anybody wants them, highly recommend Hank Wedel songs. But look, let's play the song. It'll be the last song of the interview. We'll come back and we'll chat briefly a bit more. That's the plan.
He always wore the best boots. He really knew his leather. He always had the best rhyme to hold the song together. Familiar with the blue light beneath the summer days. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Living in the land of love. Sometimes sweet as candy cane, sometimes so unkind, sometimes too fermented, in and out of his mind. But he always got the joke, even on himself. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Living in the land of love. Yeah. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Living in the land of love. 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 Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Living in the land of love. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Living in the land of love. Yeah. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Yeah. We're living in the land of love. Yeah. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Too gone, too young. Living in the land of love.
Gorgeous Sir, the late great Noel Brazil. What a great song. And an amazing flute player in there as well. I heard. Flute player.
Andre Vanderhoff.
Andre Vanderhoff. Okay, from
And
Holland, you said.
he's well known in the lowlands, but he lives in Kerry now. But my connection with Holland and Belgium and all that is through Andre. I have to get that in there because on that track is also a really great singer called Evelyn Collinsey. She's singing with Eleanor and she's singing with Mary on that track, all produced very well by Christian Best. And that's there. Yeah, so Andre is playing the flute on that. And he generally plays saxophone. He's a great saxophone player, but he's playing flute on that one. I do a lot of gigs with Andre playing in the lowlands.
Who made the video for the song?
Oh, the same guy that made the video for the Christmas song, for the Charlie's Christmas song, a guy by the name of Kieran Murphy. And he's well known in Cork as a man good with an eye. He's got a good eye. The eye of Murphy Kai.
Very nice.
That's what I call him. Yeah.
That's what you call him. I want to thank you very much. I know we had a few little technical things going on there tonight, but it was lovely having the chat with you, Hank, and hearing those great songs again. And I hope we can do it down the road. I hope to hear you live as well one of these fine days when the dust settles.
Hopefully it will. It's a very uncertain time, but I really want to thank you for having me on, and sorry about the technical problems, but that's the way
okay.
It goes. I guess.
It's at the end of the day, it's about the songs as well as the chat, and I will chop up this and make it.
You'll be able to make it look beautiful,
presentable. Well, I don't know if I can do that. If I can't work miracles, Hank, but I can.
Sure, you can.
If I just take myself out, it'll be. Look at now it's beautiful. Look at you have a great time doing what you do. Keep up the great work. And
I will, and I hope to welcome you to sit into Charlie's again sometime, Dahi.
Yeah,
I really do.
As soon as I make it to Cork, I'll come and I'll track you down, yourself and Ray. Always mighty nights in Charlie's Bar. Thanks everybody for watching. Those of you who stuck with us. It's a longer live stream than normal, but part of that was due to our technical stuff. But I enjoyed every minute of it. I loved the songs and loved getting a little bit of background to the songs. And thanks once again, Hank.
God bless you all. God bless you all. And thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ciao, amigo. The brilliant, fantastic Hank Wedel, folks. Please check out his Facebook page down there below. And if you want to, please also consider buying the man's music. That's the only way really to support musicians, not only in times of crisis, but all the time. And the best way to do that is go to his Bandcamp page, and you can buy one song, you can buy the whole discography, you can buy songs that you have already and send them around to your friends. Bandcamp allows you to do that, which that's what I love about Bandcamp as well. Look it was a pleasure talking to you, Hank. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight and sticking with us for the duration. And take care of yourselves, mind yourselves. This has been episode 41 of Raving with Rua, and I'll see you next time. All the very best.